Welcome back to another episode of our GODSU Wednesday Icon Talk. This is going to be our May 2021 Empower You Conference Part 2, Masterclass 3, and we're going to learn COVID-19 prevention and updates. And our interviewer is going to be Dr. Rachel Turgeman, and our interviewee is going to be medical doctor Eric Pesetsky, medical doctor. He's a Jewish chaplain and he's employee health medical director at Good Samaritan Medical Center. And he's also a Jewish chaplain. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
My name is Rachel Turgeman. I am the president and CEO of On Point with Rachel Turgeman. I have the pleasure today of interviewing somebody very, very important. He's a medical doctor. He's a chaplain with the Global Ovid Day Seminary University, and he's also a specialist in hospice care and palliative care. I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Diane Moore Eubanks because she asked me to interview him because he's such a renowned doctor. And tonight we want to talk about COVID-19. Welcome, Dr. Eric Pesetsky. How are you today? It's so good to see you. Thank you for taking time out of your very busy calendar to join us here on GODSU.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and a privilege to be here.
Excellent. Thank you, Doc. So, Doc, you know, this particular COVID-19 is deadly, as you know, and you're the expert. It came into our lives like a devastating hurricane, and it still has not left. So today, I want to have a front and center conversation with you to talk about COVID-19 and its implications, where we were before and where we are now. How's that?
That sounds great. I'd be happy to talk about that.
Thank you, Doc. So as a medical doctor, and I know that you've had many positions of great value all over the state, how would you assess COVID-19 at this time, when we started and where we are today? Talk to us.
Well, COVID-19 is a life-threatening viral illness. Now, some people don't hardly have a symptom. And actually, 60% of the people infected with COVID don't know that they're infected. They're asymptomatic. However, for the 40% that are symptomatic, it may be as minor as a couple mild cold symptoms, or as serious as being fatal in several days. So the unfortunate thing is there's no way to know. We have some guidelines for who's most at risk. So older people and older people with medical problems and multiple medical problems are most at risk. However,
it's very sad. But let me ask you this, Doc.
However, though, I want to make the point.
Okay.
There are young people, kids.
That's where I was going at.
Teens, young adults, middle-aged adults, and older adults without comorbidity that all have gotten fatally ill with COVID. So the only way to know what COVID will do to you, and I don't recommend this, is literally, to spin the dice. And I think that's a horrible thing with a fatal illness. I wouldn't recommend that to anyone.
Absolutely. So, but doctor, let me interrupt you for a second. So
sure.
Here we're saying that COVID-19, and we've seen it, over and over in the news, that it affects our older population, our older adults. But like you mentioned just now, there are some kids, and I happen to know some as well, that have gotten, deadly sick, unfortunately. So the question becomes, COVID-19 does not discriminate. I mean, you could be very, very old, very, very young. It doesn't matter. It can still get you unless, doctor, we are very vigilant about it. Talk to us.
Well, there's two things. This is a respiratory viral illness. So you need to breathe in this bug from someone else. Okay? So social distancing mask wearing, hand washing, okay, all are vital things to do to prevent the spread of the illness.
Absolutely.
So I'm in support of all of those things. Okay, but in addition, and this is a new thing, only available since January, okay, at least in this country, now we have vaccines against COVID-19. And the vaccines are very good. So the vaccine.
Well, let me stop you right there because, you know, as a layperson,
sure.
Okay, we talk to different people. I talk to doctors like yourself and teachers and kids and parents and everybody, right? Because this is a concern that has come into our life like deadly.
Right.
When we talk about the vaccines, you as a doctor, is it really safe? Because as you know, we've had some vaccines that they're talking about blood clots, people having strokes, people getting heart attacks. What's your assessment on that, Dr. Pesetsky?
Okay, so let's talk about it. There are 3 vaccines currently available in the US. 2 are RNA in little bags of fat cells or fat molecules. And that's both the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccine. And both of those vaccines are incredibly safe. Okay? I think.
So we'll give them 5 stars, right? Both of those.
I would give them 5 stars. And I would tell you that if you get vaccinated, you have a higher chance of being struck by lightning than you do of being so sick by COVID that you have to go to the hospital.
Okay.
If you're vaccinated and the vaccine has the amount of time needed to work.
Okay.
So with both of those vaccines, it's a 2-shot series. You get 1 shot, and then 3 or 4 weeks later, you get the second shot. And 2 weeks from the second shot, your antibodies will be high enough to protect you. So if you
I love the way you frame the issue, Dr. Pesetsky, because you're talking to us as lay people that we are, at least some of us, and some doctors watching, I'm sure. But it's important that you explain it exactly the way it is, because you hear people on the streets saying, I don't want to get a stroke. A heart stroke or a brain stroke.
There's been no strokes or blood clots. Okay, now I have to tell you, COVID-19 is a blood clotting virus.
Really?
And the side effect of the virus is blood clots.
Okay.
However, there's been no blood clots associated with administration of the Pfizer or the Moderna vaccine.
Okay. On that note, what do you think about these variants, doctor? What is your opinion about the variants? And with the Pfizer, the Moderna, and the other 2 that you're not mentioning, the other 2 vaccines that you're not mentioning, are we still safe?
So I think it's important to talk about the variants.
Okay.
And there are several. But the important thing is that in this country, we're surveilling or looking for the variants. And when we see variants start to come, the vaccine makers are starting to shift their vaccines to be more effective against those new variants.
Okay, but let me ask you this. Let me stop you for 1 second. I see what you're saying, because now the variants are coming in. But I heard as a layperson that the what we have right now with the vaccines, they can also counterattack the variants. Is that true or false?
So most of the variants are extremely susceptible to the vaccines.
Good.
However, there are 1 or 2 that are not. And so we have to see. But I'll tell you where this is important, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If India has a variant that our vaccine doesn't work against, this is a really bad time to visit India. So I think this is more important for people who are traveling internationally than people who are local. But still, there are variances in who's got what variants. And in South Florida, we have almost all of them. So I think we'll just have to do the best we can at watching them.
Well, let me interrupt you. I mean, obviously, you're saying that in South Florida we have all of them. That's scary. That is scary.
It's true because we're an international city.
Exactly.
International travelers. They've identified almost every variant in South Florida.
Exactly. And we still have to be careful, even if we don't travel aboard, Dr. Pesetsky. I mean, the Miami or Florida, we have a beautiful, diverse group of individuals that come visit. When that's beautiful, because our diversity is our strength, without a doubt.
Agreed.
But we have to, would you say to me that we still, even though we come a long way since last year, when this horrible monster of a virus, deadly, lethal virus came to our borders here, we still have to do the 6 feet distancing and the washing of the hands?
I think until the CDC tells us that we don't have coronavirus or COVID-19 spreading, all the things that we were told to do still make sense.
We still make sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And I think
Go ahead.
that places like Miami or South Florida are likely to be the first place where booster vaccines to give us added protection against the newest variants will be launched. But at this point, there's no urgency to launch them because we haven't found vaccine immune viruses spreading here. So we're in good shape.
Okay,
So,
well, that's good. Getting back, let me ask you this.
Our variants and that the vaccine manufacturers are preparing to address them is about the most I would say, unless you're a traveler.
Exactly. And I just before coming on the interview with you, I saw that Moderna is coming up with a booster for our variant. So you as a doctor and all of us, the world, we're happy that they're coming up with that booster. But the question would be then, if it's Moderna that has that booster, and in my case that I took the Pfizer, the question becomes, can I go and get the Moderna booster, or we don't know yet?
Well, I don't know if we know, and I would say if Moderna is the only one who makes the booster, take it. In other words,
technically speaking, or scientifically speaking, it's okay to have a Pfizer and a Moderna, you think?
Yeah. In other words, what you want is to make antibodies that will kill more virus.
Got you.
Will kill virus that's a little different than the original virus that you were planning on. So
unbelievable.
I think that anyone who makes a booster will be helping and will work against any virus. Okay.
Got you.
So there's no problem with whoever's booster you take. But if Pfizer makes a booster for Pfizer and Moderna makes a booster for Moderna, it may be advantageous to take the one that's from the company that you started with.
True.
But until they come up with that, I wouldn't add it.
Okay, got you. Vaccinations.
If you had to right now, if you had a dose of Moderna and then you couldn't get Moderna, you could get a dose of Pfizer behind it. So they're almost indistinguishable.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Talking about the vaccinations, do you recommend that every single person in this universe should take it, or you as an MD, Dr. Pesetsky, as a renowned MD, would you recommend that we should take it point blank, or some people that have certain diseases should not take it? Talk to us.
So I think this has to be handled on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, fair enough.
People who have serious diseases. that are likely to be worsened by an immune reaction. So I think it's in everyone's interest to be vaccinated.
Okay.
The question is, how risky is it for you to be vaccinated? So some people need to be vaccinated in certain settings, and some people need to be watched more closely if they're vaccinated
Okay.
to not have problems. Let me give you some examples. There's a neurological condition called Guillain-Barré. And if you have Guillain-Barré, the autoimmune attack on the nervous system can stop you from breathing. That's very serious.
Very serious.
You don't want to do anything to aggravate the immune attack on someone with Guillain-Barré. And I don't know that I'd vaccinate those people because of the very high risk.
Good point.
Now, my beloved Aunt Bobby had a corneal transplant.
Oh my
and
God.
she was told no vaccines when she got that.
Really?
Interestingly enough, the ophthalmologist that did the transplant specifically called her and said, you need the COVID vaccine. It's incredibly important. Get vaccinated. And if you start to have rejection, I'll handle it.
Okay. So we do have medicine, Dr. Pesetsky, in place for situations like this, correct?
So I think it depends on each particular case.
Okay.
And cases can be watched. For people that have severe allergies, I mean the people who carry EpiPens.
Which is?
A pen of epinephrine that you give yourself when your throat closes off because you've taken something you're allergic to.
No.
So people with severe allergies that carry EpiPens, they should not vaccinate unless they're in a medical environment.
Excellent advice.
Watched by a specialist who can handle allergic reactions well, like an allergist.
Good. Thank God. Let me switch you over. We can continue the subject matter in a little bit, but I want to switch you a little bit over to the mask. Okay, you hear different, all the masks that we have to wear. We talk about the different masks. There's different, schools of thought when it comes to masks. A lot of us have gotten the vaccines, but I do see when we go out, I still wear my mask when I'm out in public. So, but there's different schools of thought. I'm asking you as an expert, Dr. Pesetsky, if we're outside in a gathering, do we or do we not wear that mask? Yes or no, and why?
Okay. You're allowed to, if you are vaccinated, the CDC has said you can go outside without a mask, provided you don't gather with others. So if you're going to run by yourself or bike by yourself, and you're not going to talk to other people until you get home, you don't need a mask.
Okay.
However, who does that? We always stop and talk to somebody, or maybe you trip and other people come to help you.
No.
You want your mask.
We hope that doesn't happen to us, but you're right. It could happen.
You need your mask. So I think I would leave home without a mask. Okay. I also think.
But let me interrupt you there for a second, Dr. Pesetsky. So you're saying that if we're alone, obviously we don't need to wear a mask when we're outside. I could get it, but we're not alone. That's your point. We run into a friend or something happens.
Gathering with others that don't live with you, you still need to wear a mask.
Okay. So the question becomes for all our friends that are watching us today, why do we need the vaccinations? Get the 2 Pfizer or the 2 Moderna, whatever else you're going to get. And so we still don't have our freedom. So now that we have the 2 vaccines, we still have to wear that mask out in public?
So it's very simple, okay?
Okay, tell us.
The vaccine is your insurance about being dead, okay? It radically drops your risk of dying because you won't die of COVID, whereas other people could, okay? But
well, thank you for being so blunt. That's for sure.
It doesn't totally 100% prevent you from getting infected. Okay? So you still have to be a little careful. Okay? Especially if you're around people who are sick. Okay? So you don't know who's sick. They don't tell you when they walk up to you. So from my perspective.
And if they're asymptomatic, they're not going to tell you because they don't know.
Right. So
oh my God, it's getting worse.
Told me that you and everyone in your family, like your kids and your sister, all were vaccinated.
Absolutely, yes.
I would say yes. All of you can gather without masks and carve a turkey or have a celebration. But don't bring a friend from the neighborhood.
Because we don't know if they're vaccinated.
That's right. Okay? So that's why I think it's ambiguous right now. But the only way we're going to get so vaccinated, take off your mask everywhere, is if everyone gets vaccinated.
Exactly. So what I hear you say, Dr. Pesetsky, is that we better be cautious than really sorry.
I think so. I mean, I've seen my first patient that we vaccinated, and she caught COVID.
Really?
It was a very minimal cold symptom.
Well, that's good to know because I haven't heard this in the news at all. People
no. They've identified many people.
But I didn't know that it was that light.
Who got vaccinated, and they had very mild cases of COVID.
And what do you call mild? How do you assess the word mild? Define mild for us.
Oh, they had a minimal fever with some coughing, maybe a little chills and a runny nose or a sore throat.
Okay. Like a cold.
Like a cold for
We can handle that, but we don't want to die from it for sure.
Yeah, but they weren't admitted to the hospital.
Good point.
So
good point.
So and nationally, it's working out to be like less than 3% of everyone who gets vaccinated could get the infection. Okay? So it's a very small number, but it's not absolute.
Got you.
And I don't know if you're going to be the bad 5% or if I'm the bad 5%.
No, I agree with you. I'm going to continue to be, and I'm going to encourage all our viewers today to continue to mask up, the social distancing, continue to wash your hands, so on and so forth. Dr. Pesetsky, what is it going to take? What is it going to take to reach herd immunity throughout our nation? Talk to us.
I don't know that I want to. I think herd immunity is a wonderful thing, but we shouldn't hang our hat on it. But herd immunity happens when about 80% of the population is vaccinated.
Okay. Can you go further and define also for our viewers, what does the terminology herd immunity mean?
What herd immunity means is that there are so many people vaccinated that the virus doesn't have people to move to from each person who's infected. And after that person is infected, it goes away and there's no one who gets infected from them.
Okay.
So it means that the people who are unprotected are still unprotected. Mm-hmm. Okay. It just means that in a global sense, the virus can't spread in a community because there are enough things to stop it from spreading.
Got you.
Okay.
So again, as I hear you speak, doctor, if you don't have any of those underlying conditions that you mentioned earlier during the interview, we need to get vaccinated, folks.
Oh, I recommend that everyone be vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. As soon as they drop the age to 12, my son will be vaccinated. My aunts are vaccinated. My uncles are vaccinated. My brothers and sisters are vaccinated. And we're waiting to get all the kids vaccinated that are too young.
Okay. Question. Remember when we first got this virus last year and, we had to go shopping for our groceries. Some of us got Uber Eats because we were afraid to go to the restaurants. The restaurants closed down, so on and so forth. What have you heard, and you as an expert, as a doctor, with the surfaces, do we still have to be very careful what we touch, desk and stuff like that, and constantly? I know we have to continue washing our hands, but how much can we get this virus from touching something? If we don't touch our nose, okay, and we wash our hands, how much can we still get the virus?
So I don't think you have to worry a lot about touching surfaces.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
There have been studies that show good transfer or infection from people being in environments where other infected people were. It's breathing the infected air that gets people in trouble.
Exactly.
Now, I want
those droplets. The people's droplets, you were saying.
Influenza has taken a big nosedive now.
Yes.
And the reason it's taken a nosedive is not because people ran out and vaccinated. It's because we're distancing, we're wearing masks, and we're washing our hands all the time. And that's a recipe for trouble if you're a virus. Mm-hmm. So I think I wouldn't be excessive. Okay. I don't worry that I have enough alcohol to wipe my hands 10 times when I leave the house.
Right.
But I know that before I eat or after I go to the bathroom or before I touch someone, I wash my hands.
Excellent. Talking back about the virus and, opening up our economy, I think that Florida, I feel this way. I want to hear your opinion. I think Florida is doing a fantastic job with all our leaders and making sure that, we keep our distancing, so on and so forth. Do you see more and more restaurants opening up at 100% all over the world? Because in other states, you're seeing that they're not as advanced as Florida is and has been.
I don't know that Florida's advanced. Florida's baseline is high.
But I've seen other entities, other states, doctor, that are much worse than us.
Well, we're pretty bad. And according to the CDC, okay, we should still space. Okay. Now, I think that restaurants are fine, but you need to be careful and you need to distance.
Fair enough.
Wear your mask until you're eating. And then when you're done eating, put your mask back on. Outside is better than inside. Studies are clear on that. Okay. But hello, we're in South Florida. So it's hard to dress up and tolerate the heat.
Yes, it's very hot. And it's going to be getting worse.
Outdoor dining sections either. Okay. Some of my favorite do, but that doesn't mean that you can find that for each restaurant. So you have to be clear. It was interesting. I went out for breakfast with a friend, and it's one of my favorite places, but she looked around and she said, "Oh, there's too many people in here. I don't want to eat here." And that's fine.
You can't blame her. I probably would have told you the same thing, Dr. Pesetsky.
No, I agreed.
You get it. I mean, you're a doctor,
So I think that, we're not like the rest of the world. Okay. Everywhere else in New York and California, they can all eat outside now because it's summer. Not so much here unless you're willing to sweat. Okay.
Excellent point. Well, talking about that, Dr. Pesetsky, as an MD, a doctor that has done a lot of research and everything, not just COVID-19, do you have your own equation in collaboration with other MDs and experts like yourself that we can avoid getting this horrible virus? I know what you said. We heard you loud and clear. Get the vaccinations. But is there another way? Is there an equation to contribute to the vaccines that can help us stay away from this virus? Talk to us.
Well, we have used a group of vitamins and supplements and lifestyle changes to help our employees who are infected get over it. And we've used it to help our employees who were exposed never get it.
Wow.
So I think there's value to that.
You need to put that in a gold frame and just spread it. What is it?
We do, and not only do I, but other doctors are quite clear about it too. So there are 4 lifestyles or lifestyle changes that are beneficial, and some are simple and some are strange. So let's go over them.
Okay, please.
1,
do.
Okay, sleep 8 hours. That's not hard. 2, drink water consistently and in large volumes or other drinks, so that when you go to the bathroom and you urinate, it's not yellow, it's clear. Okay? So stay very well hydrated.
Is there a point that you can drink too much water or no?
Not really.
Okay. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What's the third one?
Eat lots of fruits and vegetables that are different colors because they're loaded with antioxidants.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
The last lifestyle thing is kind of strange. At the end of your shower, take a thermal shower, which means go hot and cold, hot and cold. So we tell people after a normal shower to do a minute of as cold as you can get the water. And
why does that make a difference?
Let me finish. And then 3 minutes of hot water, and then another minute of cold, and then another 3 of hot, and then another minute of cold, and then another 3 of hot. So 3 cycles of cold and then hot for 12 extra minutes.
Okay.
Why does that help? We know that when you put a body through multiple temperature changes, that it makes the immune system produce more hunter-killer cells.
Okay.
And activates those hunter-killer cells. And this research came from Scandinavia, where people have saunas, and they like to sit in their sauna, and their sauna has an extra door outside, and they'll sit in their sauna till they get too hot, and then they'll jump out into the snow, and then they'll run around back into their house and go back into their sauna.
Wow. I have never heard of this, but this is very interesting.
Do that. And I happened to go to college in Portland, Oregon, where we had a sauna like that for the school. Mm-hmm. So when you do that and go through hot and cold changes, it turns out the level of viral infections is extraordinarily low.
Excellent.
And that's where that...
I love it. I love it, Dr. Pesetsky. I hope that all our viewers are going to follow your advice, your expert, data-driven advice. And we need to do it.
For vitamins and supplements, we recommend people who want to avoid COVID infection, okay, take a gram, that's 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C.
Good.
Take 5,000 international units of vitamin D3, okay. Take 50 milligrams of zinc, which is just a little tablet, okay. And then twice a day, take a supplement called NAC or N-acetylcysteine, and we recommend 1,000 milligrams twice a day. And then we recommend another supplement called quercetin, starts with a Q, okay? And the quercetin, okay, is 500 milligrams twice a day if you're trying to avoid COVID. If you're already infected and you're trying to get through it, increase the dose to 2 500s twice a day.
Wow.
But it's
you need to go on international TV, because I'm sure that what you're saying here, thank you to GODSU, Global Over Day Seminar University, we're doing this interview, and you are just a wealth of information. So, Dr. Pesetsky, we're running out of time.
I don't go back to one quick thing on the vaccine.
Okay, and then I want to cover something that your university is doing. Go ahead, make your point.
I want to talk about J&J vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Yes.
That's the one that's been associated with about 14 near-fatal blood clots.
And it's scary for us.
Because the blood clots are in a part of the brain, and it happens when the platelets are very low, which is unusual. Okay, when that occurs, we want to anticoagulate people with something other than heparin, okay, and watch them carefully in an ICU. However, okay, it's been less than 1 in a million of people who have had this. So you really are much more likely to be bit by a shark or struck by lightning than
Point
you
well
are
taken.
this side effect.
Point well taken.
All these side effects occurred in women who were childbearing age. So,
well, now wait a minute. Let me interrupt you there for a second because I want to go into the conference of GODSU. There's been speculation, conversation going back and forth between experts and lay people, so on and so forth. Some girls that can have babies, right, are afraid, or they would like to have babies, are afraid to take the vaccines because maybe they can never have babies. What's your assessment of that?
All of the national gynecological organizations are clear. If you get COVID while you're pregnant, the risk to the child goes up tenfold. It's critical that pregnant women vaccinate.
Okay.
Childbearing aged women vaccinate for the safety of themselves and their babies. Okay,
so they have to vaccinate.
That's fine, but for childbearing aged women, I would recommend, if they're concerned about the side effect, because it's extraordinarily rare, they get the Moderna or the Pfizer vaccine instead.
Okay.
Gotcha. But I think for someone like me who's not a woman, okay, or for older people, older women and older men, I don't see a reason not to use the J&J. And it's the one and done vaccine, which is a little different.
Got you.
Way. Go ahead.
Well, unfortunately, Dr. Pesetsky, Eric Pesetsky, we're running out of time. I want to cover GODSU Global Ovid Day Seminary University. You're a chaplain there. I want to make sure that we give a big shout out to Cairo, to Sudan, to Dakar, and of course, the major leaders. We have Dr. Diane Moore Eubanks, our Reverend, our attorney, our chancellor, Dr. Willis Eubanks as well. Global Ovid Day Seminary University is an outstanding university, my friends. If you're looking to get your or earn your certification as a chaplain, cybersecurity, become financially independent, you name it, you need to sign up and register and take courses and get your degree from Global Ovid Day Seminary and University. They deliver excellence every day. I want to go back to Dr. Eric Pesetsky. I know that there's a graduation coming up on May 21st, May 22nd. There's going to be a conference with that saying Empower You Conference. There's the registration link, my friends, for all of you that are watching. Please share this video. Send that out to your friends. Go ahead and register. What are people going to expect out of this Empower You Conference? Talk to us.
Well, these conferences are power-packed with experts in their field. I've spoken before on health and how to maintain health, but there are billionaires that talk about how to grow wealth, okay? And there are people that talk about entrepreneurship, okay? So I think it's a tremendous organization.
Yes, it is.
They have great programs, and people should sign up and explore it.
Excellent. Well, I want to encourage all our viewers, please, there's the address. I want you to sign up. It's an excellent conference. Again, my hat goes off to the entire team at GODSU. Dr. Pesetsky, thank you so much for sharing with us your amazing acumen, your expertise as a medical doctor. I know that you're extremely busy, but you have given some invaluable information today on COVID-19. And as you know, it has worried all of us. But today, you have really put our hearts to rest in a positive sense, our minds to rest in a positive sense. You've given us some great advice, and I know that all our viewers are going to follow your advice. God bless you, and I look forward to having a conversation with you in the very near future.
Have a great day, and thanks again for what you do. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. And to all participants, thank you so much for joining GODSU Wednesday Icon Talk. A big shout out to everybody. We love you all. God bless you.
Hello, how outstanding And for those of you who don't know who Dr. Eric Pesetsky is, he is our physician for the New Future Foundation English Jamaica chapter. He travels with us throughout the US and even to Jamaica. He's gone with us several times, and he's just outstanding. We've known him for, my husband has known him for over 50 years. So he is just a tremendous, tremendous resource.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Now we're going to get started with our outstanding global workers. We have Dr. Janice Boss Chaplin, who's the author of Code to Human Life, Building Good Relationships, Artist International Global Distributor, which is a weight loss and shaping garments company.
Good afternoon. I am humbled, and to God be all the glory. I'm Dr. Janice Boss, an author of Code to Human Life, Building Good Relationships, which is my second book, which was published in February 2021. And last but not least, I am proud to be an alumni of GODSU. Thanks to GODSU for allowing me to have this platform to tell you about my entrepreneurship and the impact that GODSU has had on my life. I'm an entrepreneur of health and wellness, business with Artist Life, which has been in business over 30 years. It has a two-step system. One is nutritional products, and one is reshaping garments. And I'm going to go over the nutritional system that Artist has implemented. And it is so important for each of us to make sure and ensure that every day we are putting the right nutrition into our body. And that's the reason why it's so important that Artist Life has created this two-step system. And as I said before, one is the nutritional products and one is the reshaping garments. And so we use both of those. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of our products. For example, we have a NutriShake. And the NutriShake, if you get up in the morning and you're on the run or you're rushing, and I know both His Excellency Dakar and Her Excellency Sedan, I know both of them are very busy, so you could just make you a quick NutriShake. You don't have to worry about cooking breakfast or anything, and that's for any and everybody. And you can just take your NutriShake with you to school or to your business or to work wherever you're going. And so it is so good to have these type of supplements. Also, we have my favorite, but before I get to my favorite, I'm going to tell you about another product that's called Shield. It has elderberries in it, and believe it or not, during this pandemic time or season that we're in now, this is practically always sold out, this elderberry juice, but it is called Shield. And so it shields you from a lot of different viruses, and especially the COVID-19 virus. We also have the core calcium. This is good for your skeletal system. And so if you have any skeletal issues, such as your bones, your knees, any place on your body, joints, this core calcium, I make sure that I have that on hand so that I can take that if I have any joint issues or any skeletal issues, back problems. If anybody has any back problems, foot injuries, that's good for you. And I'm down to the Levine juice, which is my favorite. It is a miracle supplement, and it works from the inside out. It has super antioxidants in it. It has several different berries, and it's a saya berries, the noni berries, the pomegranate berries, the mangosteen berries, and all of this helps you with any issues that you have, such as diabetes or high blood pressure or high cholesterol. This will help you. There are super antioxidants in this drink, and so I refer that to everybody. And it's a good tasting supplement as well. And I'd like to give a disclaimer because I'm not a medical doctor. However, we tell our testimonies, and that's how we talk about how good our products are. And my testimony is that I'm 70 years old and I'm not on any medication. And so I just thank God for that. And I am now going on to the reshaping garment system. We have what we call the body magic. And this body magic is awesome. You can wear this body magic on a daily basis, and it will help you to drop several pounds. And if you wear it for at least 90 days, it will reshape your whole system, your body, and you will not even know yourself. But it is so good because you can put it on if you're going to, let's just say, an elaborate affair, and you can drop 3 sizes in 10 minutes and get in the dress that you thought you couldn't get into, or the outfit that you thought you couldn't get into. And we have reshaping garments for men and women. And I would like to invite each of you to get in touch with me about this 2-step system. And for the garments, you would contact me at artistlife.com/diva bb123, or you can always contact me via email, which is really one of the best ways to get in touch with me. And that's J as in Jack, B as in boy, D as in David, I as in India, V as in Victor, A as in Albert, #1 at Verizon.net. And that's JB Diva. And now I would like to tell you about how GODSU has impacted my life. It is an amazing institution. It believes in collaboration and not competition. And I just love the fact that no matter who you are, if you are an alumni at GODSU, you will have an opportunity to have this platform. And I'm just so thankful for that. It's one of the best institutions I have been involved with because it allows every alumni to have a chance to talk about their entrepreneurship and to introduce themselves to the world. And with that being said, I thank you again, and I'm so happy to be a part of this alumni. Some amazing things have happened to me in my life since I've been a part of GODSU, and it's continuing to happen. And this is such an anointed institution. And I would like to just continue to recruit others, recruit the best, so that they can be a part of this great institution. Thank you again to GODSU.
Thank you so much. For administrative work for GODSU, Andrea R. Hillard, Chaplain, who is the CEO of Andrea/Caleb's Events, LLC. Please take us away.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. I am Andrea Hillard, CEO of Andrea and Caleb's Events. That is an event planning company. First, giving honor to God, who's head of my life, the visionary of this university, Chancellor Dr. Diane Eubanks, Vice Chaplain Dr. Ellis Eubanks, His Excellency Dakar, Cairo Eubanks, as well as Sudan Eubanks. Thank you so much. You know, this platform has been so amazing to me. I have learned so much from just these 6 months of being here at GODSU. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your excellency and everything that you do. And with that being said, the impact that GODSU has given me is the impact to calm down, be more proficient, work in a more excellent way. And so therefore my boys can be matriculated to hear the word of God, because I'm always so hyper and energetic. I'm mighty grateful for this platform, but I do want to get the word of God out so people can really understand it. And I want to be a change agent. When you be a change agent to one person, you're not only changing one person, you're changing at least 10 more, a whole generation. So that's what this platform has done for me, being able for me to, be a change agent. And that's what I'm doing every day. And what I want to bring to GODSU is I am bringing future alums, future GODSU. I'm gonna say GODSU. I know that's not a word, but future people to GODSU, so they could see what I've gone through, and they could change to be an agent for God as well. We all have a ministry inside of us, and GODSU has been able to help me to get that out, because believe it or not, I'm a very shy person. I'm very shy. And with this teach and pray, I've been learning through that every morning. The iconic speakers have been so awesome. So I am sharing my videos when I go on with people and just telling them about the word of God, and they can actually find it here at GODSU Seminary. And thank you so much for this time.
And we have the following helping with administrative work for GODSU: Dean, His Excellency Willis Eubanks, Chaplain, who's the CEO of Take Action Now IT Inc., doing business as Tanit, who is a GODSU Dean of Cybersecurity Curriculum and is a GODSU Board Advisor. Assistant Dean, Apostle Dr. Adrian Jackson, Chaplain, who's the president and owner of Global Expert Solutions, LLC, God Success Teach and Pray co-host, a GODSU board member, assistant dean of administration, senior administrator to the Office of the Chancellor. And we have with paralegal and administrative work, Director Her Excellency Cairo D.R. Eubanks, UN CSR CLC CEC Chaplain. She's the Miss Broward County, and is a GODSU Miss and is the CEO of Cairo Speaks and Cairo Writes, and is a GODSU Director of Administration, a board advisor, and co-host to the Junior Ambassador Program. We have helping with administrative work for GODSU, the remainder, Her Excellency Dr. Arlene Span, Chaplain, who's the founder of Arlene Sweats, is a GODSU board advisor and NFFI Jamaica board member. Helping with administrative work and public relations for GODSU, Lakeisha Richards, Chaplain, who is the CEO of LJ Richards LLC. We have the following three helping with being a professor for GODSU: Assistant Dean Courtney Lodge, MBA, co-founder, CEO, and master coach at Sure Profits Academy and Sure Profits Coach, Assistant Dean of GODSU Credit Union and NFFI JA, GODSU Board Advisor. Dr. Antoinette Tony Myers Winfield, Doctor of Chiropractor at Golden Spine Rehabilitation Center and is a GODSU Designate Chaplain. Dr. Yolander Holmes Taylor, owner and founder of Holistic U LLC, fundraising for GODSU. Assistant Dean Dr. Patrick Freeman Chaplain, who's the chairman and CEO of Artesian Development LLC. We have the following helping with public relations for GODSU: physician, Her Excellency Dr. Rhoda McKenday, PhD, chaplain, and she is the founder of Drome and is a GODSU medical missions physician. Assistant Dean Dr. Charles Olawale, chaplain. principal consultant at Graffiti Consultant Inc., and is a God Success Teach and Pray co-host. We have Assistant Dean Bishop Dr. Reginald Benjamin, chaplain, pastor, CEO, and bishop of Lighthouse Christian Fellowship Center, a God Success Teach and Pray co-host, and Assistant Dean of Chaplaincy. Miss Sharon Wright, CEO of Bella Sapphire Self and Skin Care, and a GODSU sponsor. Assistant Dean Reverend Dr. Lolithia Davis, chaplain, CEO and founder of Dior to Live in Overflow, and is a God Success Teach and Pray co-host. GODSU board advisor, Assistant Dean of Chaplaincy. Assistant Dean Reverend Dr. Sandra Norris Deckard, chaplain, First Lady and co-pastor of Greenhouse International Church, owner and physician of Genesis. Assistant Dean, Her Excellency Dr. Stella Onoha, MBA, COKS, chaplain, Director of Estrella Communications Group International. And we have Gwendolyn Coggs, who is a GODSU supporter, followed by Dr. Patricia McDougall, chaplain, who's the CEO of Patricia's Professional Photos LLC that does photography and videography, and is GODSU's official photographer. Helping as well, we have Reverend Dr. Robert A. Spicer, Senior Chaplain, who's the CEO of Restorative Strategies LLC, and our GODSU Chancellor, the Right Honorable Her Excellency Reverend Dr. Diane Moore Eubanks, JD Chaplain, who is Miss Senior Jamaica Universe, Senior Vice President of NVIDIA Financial Network. And we have, helping with public relations for GODSU, our Miss Black Florida Talented Teen, the Miss Black USA title holder for the Sunshine State, Sudan A.L. Eubanks, CEO Sudan Dolls, Games, and Apps. She's also a God Success Teach and Pray co-host.
Thank you so much. As many of you know, I am currently the Miss Black Florida Talented Teen for the Sunshine State, representing, our gorgeous state of Florida at nationals for Miss Black USA in Washington, D.C., the heart of America, in August, around August 5th to August 9th. I will be competing. You can help me out. My entire social impact initiative and how I want to change the world is through community service. So with the title of Miss Black Talented Teen USA 2022, I hope to change our youth's perspective through the love and through the vision of community service. You can help me out by visiting my website, SudanEubanks.com, spelled just like my name, or you can donate to my Cash App, which is $Sudan Eubanks. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And myself, I am Director, His Excellency Dakar Eubanks, Chaplain. I'm the CEO of Dakar Marketing Tools, and I'm also GODSU Director of Operations and co-director of Junior Ambassador Program. So yes, this is yours truly, your MC and engineer, His Excellency Dakar. I'm Director of Operations at GODSU, and I'm the CEO of Dakar Marketing Tools, an international graphic and printing company providing you with all of your marketing needs to help you and your company grow. Our popular products are branded rings, pins, branded golf shirts, branded jackets, and GODSU African American History Bibles. In addition, we provide merchandise that's crucial to your business's success, such as our magazines, banners, flyers, digital business cards, and printed business cards. And with our innovative tools, you can turn your brick and mortar into an e-commerce platform. During this time of constant Zoom meetings and webinars, we want to make sure you're prepared with our Zoom for Profits course. You can see the information on the screen for how to register on demand. Some of the offered courses are how to make money doing Zoom, Zoom Essentials, Zoom Basics, and turning your brick and mortar into an e-commerce platform. And I want to extend a special appreciation to our GODSU leaders who have volunteered many hours. We especially thank those who provided actual names, emails, and phone numbers of referrals. And GODSU is grateful for the opportunity to add workers of God to our database, as well as register for our educational programs. And you can see on the screen our next Wednesday Icon Talk episode is going to be July 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be our presenter is going to be attorney, is going to be Assistant Dean Courtney Lodge, MBA, and he's going to cover steps to setting up GODSU Credit Union and how you can help workshop. So you definitely want to join. You can see the information on the screen. You can join on the same platforms you're watching. And also I want to remind you to please like, subscribe, comment, and share. And be sure to stay tuned as we have some more information that follows. Thank you.
Global Ovid Day Seminary and University GODSU is a 501c3 interfaith e-learning Global Florida Department of Education Commission of Independent Studies approved degree issuing religious institution of higher learning under Florida Statute 1005.061F in Miramar, Florida, a suburb of Fort Lauderdale suburbs. Our curricula include programs like our theology diploma, bachelor's, master's, and PhD programs, which are designed for students called to the ministries of teaching and preaching. Program enrollees include pastors, evangelists, missionaries, and laypersons. Our additional courses: Entrepreneurial Studies, premier self-development courses on wealth building. We also offer a mini course for youth, the Junior Ambassador Youth Public Speaking, to gain professional and personal skills. Chaplaincy Diploma, Love and Spiritual Interfaith and Christian programs. Chaplains are trained, certified leaders attached to either a religious and/or non-religious institution or organization. Cybersecurity IT courses. Our licensed instructor has a 95% pass rate compared to the 30% national average for CompTIA accredited courses, such as Security Plus and Network Plus. 40% of our alum who've gone through our prestigious GODSU honors programs have also previously matriculated through their earned doctorate programs. Our alum include physicians, ambassadors, statesmen and stateswomen, icons and billionaires, religious leaders, titans in business, global philanthropists such as Ambassador of Ghana to the United States, His Excellency Dr. Bafor A.J. Bewa, Ambassador of Nigeria to the United States, His Excellency Dr. Sylvanus Musafor, billionaire builder and dean, His Excellency Dr. Michael V. Roberts, former Maritime Minister, Government of Nigeria, Honorable Dr. Leke Olawale. Our world-class and esteemed professors include Attorney Her Excellency Reverend Dr. Diane Moore Eubanks, PhD, Chancellor, Physician Dr. Eric Pesetsky, Clinical Health and Nutrition and GODSU Medical Expert, Physician Her Excellency Rhoda Makinde, PhD, Chief Medical Doctor, GODSU, Medical Missions, Dean Michael V. Roberts, JD, PhD, Dean of Entrepreneurship Studies, Dean Kyra Eubanks, Dean of Junior Ambassador, Professor Willis Eubanks, PhD, Dean of Cybersecurity Program, Professor Imam Dr. Talib Sharif, Professor Interfaith Program and Chaplaincy, Professor Reverend Dr. William Blake Theology Program Curriculum Development, Professor His Excellency Dakar Ethical and Successful Marketing